What do you mean that God is a failed parent?
This is my problem. My eye opener came when I gave birth, when I became a parent, and I realized it was my responsibility to actually protect the child that I have born to this earth. Then I went comparing this to the biblical God, and I realized the biblical God is a typical definition of what I would call a failed parent. Why would I say this? When this God created just two people on earth, he couldn't protect them from a common serpent, that he allowed a serpent to go and corrupt them for him to punish them later. When there were just four people on earth, Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, this God still couldn't protect them. This God could not protect Abel, that he was murdered by his own brother Cain. As to what moral lesson that God wanted us to learn from that murder, I still don't know till today. In Genesis 6, this God sat down, watched the beings that he has created, the heavenly beings that he has created, descend on earth to cause corruption and sin among the people of earth. He couldn't protect the people from these beings. They came, caused corruption and sin, and this God got angry, wiped the entire human race, including animal and plants, and was left with just 8 people on earth. This is why I saw this God to be a failed parent. This God went to Sodom and Gomorrah, used fire to burn the entire city down, leaving just 3 people out of it. The 3 people he left still continued the sin of which he burnt the others for. The God is just a typical example of a failed parent. Then I asked myself, why is it that as a powerful father as I am, when I brought a snake home and I leave the snake to enter into my children's room, then I tell the children, look, children, I've left a snake in your room. If you don't take time and the snake bites you, I have set a fire outside that will burn you with the fire that I've set. When I am the one who have all the power to actually get rid of this snake, why would I leave that responsibility on my children? And as a parent, as a biblical God, every time it seems like the God sits down, when you have a problem, the God knows you have a problem, but unless you shout and call this God to come to your aid before the God comes to your aid, I don't need my children to shout before I go to their aid. No, immediately I see they have a problem, I go to solve it. Thank you.